welcome back to the channel, fool. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you like videos like this.
Oh, what the f that is, man?
Look at the galaxy.
Hey, stop playing.
That's another dimension right there. I probably go through there and see all my past stuff.
And that's, guys, the second ring of fire we've seen so far. If you have watched my previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. Something is cooking up, something real.
Será que é gente aí? Será que é gente isso? É nada. Não é de jeito nenhum gente isso aí, ó. Minha Nossa Senhora do
céu. Whatever it was, don't stop the car and keep going.
Into the record, page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employees. Have some administrative matters first. I wanted to introduce into the record, page 55 from the committee's interview with FBI employee Roya Demlow, who I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with page 55 from the committee's interview with which took place on July 17, 2023. In that which took place on July 17, 2023. In that, we're to leave this interview and we're to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden. We're to leave this interview and we're to suggest or imply that when you said the laptop was real, that it meant that the FBI had affirmatively determined in October 2020 that the laptop belonged to Hunter Biden.
That's a little disturbing if you ask me.
There have been more than 300 new sightings.
What the f is going on?
You still think that's a f***ing flare?
Oh, whoa. What is that?
Maybe alien contact is much closer in our future than we are led to believe.
Did you see how bad she was with me?
A dramatic increase in UFO sightings. About half of them remain unexplained.
Somebody help me understand that.
Storm brewed, something miraculous, or perhaps ominous, began to take shape. Look closely.
A face.
Does it not seem as if a colossal face, perhaps that of Zeus himself, is forming within the storm? From a vague silhouette to shockingly distinct features. Nose, jawline, even what appears to be a beard.
Holy f***. Over here, come here. Look right above the trees. Come here, Peter. Right above the trees. What? Dude, what is that?
A glowing orb floats ominously among the clouds, lighting up every time the lightning strikes.
It's not moving. Oh my gosh, dude. Me neither. Oh, dude. Did you see how bad?
What the
An array of bright lights cuts through the darkness, forming what appears to be a massive ship hovering ominously ahead in the sky. These lights, seemingly part of a single colossal entity, glide across the night with a grace that bellies their size.
啥子意思啊？不，好像那种。
Thousands of small glowing dots swarm the sky. Amidst the chaos of the storm, a sinister face appears, sparking whispers of dread among the locals.
Randy? What the hell? Come look in the sky right now, dude. Huh. It's a luminescent, transluminescent, what the call it?
What is that? Gary, what is that?
Start moving.
Only two paths ahead, fam. The greatest disclosure or the greatest deception. That's it.
What floor you on from? What floor? What floor? What floor? What floor? What floor? Let me see. Yeah, that's me, 12G Anthony. Pass me McDonald's. You have the code? Yes, I got the code, bro. The code is get out of here. I'm back in town. That's the code. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's an early one. Shit.
Oh, shit. Dude. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, okay. I swear to God, I saw something peek out of that fucking room over there. Holy shit. That was definitely not my eyes playing tricks on me this time. I saw that vivid. Holy crap, it is freezing in here. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. I'm hearing noises all around me, and I'm not liking this. Is this where they kept your body? Oh, holy shit! Oh! No, I'm done. I don't want to go back over there. Hell no. Dude, that thing just ran right into me. Dude, I felt it. I felt it run through me. Holy shit. Oh my God. That scared me so freaking bad. Oh, dude, that shadow figure. It just bolted right at me, and I felt that surge of cold air go right through me. I think I'm done with this area. I think that's enough evidence right there, isn't it?
And that's called free scare. Run as fast as you can.
You know, recombinant DNA to start augmenting stuff. There's other variables that are unpredictable, you know, whereas if you just use a different spirit, you can predict what it's going to be. You know, that's like when a skinwalker kills, that's what you have to go through, man. I'm 9 years old and I had to stink and kill somebody with my hands, a friend, a person that I love, because my family was not somebody I loved. And so part of the in order to be inhabited by these spirits that will shapeshift you and allow you to become a different creature, you're going to kill somebody that you love, and you're going to kill them with your bare hands. You're going to breathe in their life as they die.
Mm.
And it's when you do that this stuff comes on you, and that's the stuff that makes you convinced you can never be redeemed.
I believe it. So if you, all right, there's so much to unpack.
This interview, guys, is insane. But if you are looking for a confirmation, that's it. You got it. Elon should send this guy to Mars first.
There's like this famous Indian street food vendor who blew up, and he's this guy who like sits cross-legged in this doorway and making a fight. He's like covered in food, like making a mess. And then this one Spanish YouTuber or something went there to be like, I'm trying this guy's famous stall from TikTok or whatever, and he's like starts eating it, and he's like starts sweating, and it cuts him in the hospital, and he's getting like IVs and all this stuff. Yeah, like
So it's too hot?
I don't think it was too hot. I think it just it wasn't too spicy. Like it's a Spanish.
What was the
guy.
issue?
Like he got instant food poisoning. poisoning. Like it was just like this fat.
When you start eating street food, it's like playing roulette. It's a gamble every single time.
The following video comes from a mother who, for some reason, began to feel an overwhelming sense of anxiety while taking care of her baby. It was just her and her son, alone at home, watching a movie peacefully, when things took an unexpected turn. Looking at the bathroom door, she notices that it's wide open. When she last looked, it was somewhat shut. Seeing that something was different, she grabs her phone and begins to record. Whenever something like this happens, according to her, things get very weird. It's a common occurrence, but on this night, what she captures is unlike anything she's ever experienced. On the verge of having a panic attack, she records the bathroom when this is captured.
Ooh.
Please go away. Please go away. You're not wanted. Go away. Whatever you are, go away. Oh my God. Oh my God. I am so scared right now. Please go away. It can't be spooky. Spooky? Psst, 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 psst. Spook? Moo?
To say that the mother was spooked out of her mind would be putting it lightly. It's the fact that she pulls in her child after sensing something dangerous that really shows this. Now, she didn't see it at first, but after watching this video, she saw it. At the entrance to the bathroom, a very distinct shadow-like figure appears quickly. It's actually pretty quick when it happens, so it's understandable as to why she had missed this. But seeing how fast it moves only adds to the creepiness of this footage. Whatever this might have been seems to pop in and out quick before seemingly disappearing. Seeing this and hearing the bathroom door creak has led her to believe that something paranormal took place. But whether ghost or not, there has yet to be a definitive explanation for what was captured on this night.
And what you should do, ladies, grab your baby and run to that door.
So there's this guy named Fritz Popp. He's a biophysicist. He was big in the 60s and 70s when Becker was doing his work on bone. So when Becker came out and did his seminal research, and he showed that bone has a P and N semiconductor, collagen and apatite, and that the current is rectified, that told you, as a scientist, that means there's got to be a photoelectric effect happening on bone. So he brought a physicist in because he didn't know how to do it. I think the guy's name was Charlie Bowman. Charlie Bowman comes in and checks it and goes, look at this. When we check for the photoelectric effect both ways, with collagen and with apatite, it glows brown red, and when you do it the other way, it glows blue. So he figured it out right away. So what does Fritz Popp do? Well, if that's true, then that means that we should have a light signature. Like, for example, anytime a doctor is listening to your podcast, they're gonna say, well, I cut somebody open, I don't see any light. Well, you're not. You won't see it because it's ultra weak biophotons. You know, you'd have to have specialized equipment to see it. You need a photomultiplier. So what does Fritz Popp do in the 60s? He makes photomultipliers. He invents a machine that can do this. So what does he do? He takes leaves, he takes every single thing that's living, puts it in a photomultiplier, and guess what he finds out? It creates light. So when I learned about this, I'm going, okay, I know Becker's experiments, and I knew those experiments, just so you know, in 88, 89, 90. Okay, we're talking a long time ago. And then I went back and I said, okay, somebody's got to be studying this light story, and it turns out it was Fritz Pop. Now, there's a lot of things about Fritz Pop's story that's he shit the bed on, but the number one thing that he proved is light is created by us. So then it became incumbent upon me to figure what that out was. In those 18 months that I told you, I went from being centralized to decentralized. I spent almost $100,000 translating Russian journals about scientists that were doing this work both in Japan and Russia, and found out that mitochondrial DNA actually creates light through the process of breaking electrons and protons down from food. And I kept reading it, and the number one thing that I remember from the papers, still to this day, that you had to have oxygen and you had to have electron chain transport working for this to happen. And I was just fascinated by this, and I said, okay, I need to delve into this more. So then I started open physics books, and I started learning more physics. Long story short, after I figured it out and I started using different things to make light in us to improve things, I realized immediately, as soon as I knew we made light in us, I had to look for the target of the light. And then I found the target. It was POMC. POMC is where melanin's made from. POMC is a gene that only gets translated from UV light. And then I said, okay, this makes sense. Fritz Pop found that every single living cell emits ultra-weak biophotons in the UV light. So you can imagine, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, okay, Bill Gates, dermatologists, and ophthalmologists are assholes because biology's making UV light. That means it's not toxic. That means it's being used for optical photonic signaling that we don't know about. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I went further. I kept going. That's when I realized what POMC was all about. I had learned about it in medical school. I learned about it in even high school, but I didn't know anything about it. And then I read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I said, yeah, the dude said he went up to the top of the mountain in the cold and he got tan. And all of a sudden, everything started making sense. I was like, oh, I got this. I went back to the neurosurgery library and I found this crazy pathway. It's called the leptin-melanocortin pathway. And I was like, this is the whole shot, you know? And I went down that rabbit hole and I didn't stop. I kept reading everything I possibly could. Because you remember, I told you, leptin was not discovered until 94. I was already out of medical school by that time. Mm-hmm. And I learned about that. And I started putting the whole story together. And I said, you know what? Light is the biggest part of the story because we're creating light and we absorb light and we have all these proteins in us that are chromophore proteins. I said, God or evolution wouldn't have done this if it wasn't important. You know, I started finding UVA detectors on our cornea and our skin. I never learned that in medical school. When I saw that, I'm like, there's a story here that hasn't been told.
So UV lights are good for us. Not exactly what they're promoting out there.
Charging 3 phones on a pair of flip-flops, y'all. Flip-flops. Y'all think we made it? Then connected to the light. You'll never believe I think I made it. Need the light, bro.
Bros are thinking inside of the box.
Oh!
Ooh.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
So there are these cases of men in black. Albert Bender was one researcher that encountered these. And then John Keel wrote about them in several of his books later on. The Mothman Prophecy and his book on UFOs, Operation Trojan Horse, has some of these cases in it. Of these people who certainly aren't government agents, they wear these like black suits and black ties and white shirts and whatever, but they don't look right at all. They barely even look human. And they appear and disappear sort of from out of nowhere, as if, you know, they're forming from out of a mist. And they don't speak like something human. Their words and their pattern of behavior and movement seems like it's something being projected by someone in a mesmeric trance. Like if you were trying to hold a mental image and trying to give lines to a character that you wanted to materialize somewhere at a distance. And you wanted to manipulate this entity as a puppet or vehicle for your intention. These men in black behave like that, like they're on the other end of somebody's puppet string, and they're being conjured by some form of intelligence somewhere that we can't perceive directly.
Could they be demonic too?
It was in 1969 in Siberia. It was this coal mine, and they were down 230 feet, and this one guy hit the coal, a hole opened up, and it was a tunnel. So him and a couple guys went into this tunnel. What they found was this 8-foot-long white marble sarcophagus. Boss alerts the military and stuff like that. The coal miners were like, once the SSR dudes get down here, they're gonna take it, pop the lid. And what they find in there is a perfectly preserved woman. She was wearing like a translucent dress covered in this pink liquid. The SSR gets there, and it was too heavy to lift, and so they're like, let's just drain it of the pink liquid.
Oh boy.
So they drained it, and instantly after they drained it, the woman started to decompose.
This was preserving her?
They brought it back, they did tests on it and stuff, could not identify what the pink liquid was. Immediately after that, all the miners were fired, and then around the coal mine, they had armed military. In the 70s, news reporters were writing about this, and the KGB is like, stop talking about this, and they're in fact arrested.
For what then?
False information. And then it wasn't until the SSR dissolved that an article came out talking about this sarcophagus.
And if you ask me what they did with the pink sludge, only God knows.
Clip, show me the new iPhone you got again.
Yeah.
Okay. And where'd you pick this up again?
The flea market.
Do you even have Verizon?
No.
You're saying this plays every time you started the phone. What? Bro, how much did you pay for this?
I don't know.
I need y'all to be a little bit more mindful outside, you know? Be a little bit more demure. No, don't be demure outside. Be aware, please. Pay attention, cuz this just took the cake for me. Now I'm starting to think twice. So my man's about to go on here. He done parked this car. He getting out. And niggas look like they about to rob. They done took the whole nigga. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. They say, this shit. Hey, fix it. I don't know where it's at, but fix it.
That's just insane. They wrapped him like a burrito. And when they're telling you the streets ain't safe no more, you better believe this.
But also the scariest thing was Rodney would refuse to wear clothes. And I didn't know this until I met him, but he...
What? What do you mean he refused to wear...
He doesn't wear clothes. No, listen to this.
There's too much here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have another show.
No. I know.
What do you mean he refused to wear clothes?
He wears a red silk robe that he's had for like 12 years, and he doesn't wear anything on underneath it. And so it was very traumatizing for me to go to, you know, I mean,
I think it's traumatizing for us hearing about it. I am traumatized.
You know, but that's part of who he is. It's Rodney. You know, you got to expect that. But I go to a read-through for the script the first week of shooting, and he would just be sitting there, you know, in his silk robe. You know?
Okay, you have destroyed 14 careers. 14 careers in one interview.
No,
incredible.
He's incredible.
Right now, they're filing charges against Rodney in L.A. The whole cast of Mad About You and Sequest is being rounded up.
He's great, though. He's fantastic. I gotta, you know.
Other than his constant nudity, the finest actor I ever met.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna have to run. We've run out of time. It was just, there was too much there.
And the way they're quickly playing damage control is just crazy.
In 2007, Oprah Winfrey opened up a boarding school in South Africa. The academy had salons and gyms in it. Allegations have surfaced that this school was a front for child trafficking. These girls would be allegedly groomed to be ready for sale. Oprah handpicked the young girls who attended her school based on physical appearance, but it wasn't long until word got out about what really the school was about. Turns out these young girls were being touched or broken in by one of the employees there to allegedly get them ready for clients.
Oprah vehemently denied any involvement in or knowledge of Diddy's criminal activities. She expressed her outrage at being implicated in such serious allegations, describing them as baseless and defamatory. Oprah's statement emphasized her commitment to ethical conduct and transparency throughout her career. Behind the scenes, sources close to Oprah report that she is deeply distressed by the allegations. Friends and associates have described her as losing it, indicating the immense personal toll the scandal is taking on her. Oprah is reportedly working closely with her legal team to address the claims and clear her name. The public and media reaction to the allegations against Oprah has been mixed, reflecting the complex nature of her public persona and the severity of the claims. Many of Oprah's fans and colleagues have rallied in her defense, arguing that the allegations are out of character for someone who has built a career on integrity and positive influence. High-profile figures in the entertainment industry have voiced their support, emphasizing Oprah's contributions to society and her long-standing reputation for ethical conduct. Conversely, there is a significant amount of skepticism and criticism. Some individuals believe that the allegations warrant a thorough investigation, regardless of Oprah's public image. Critics argue that no one should be above scrutiny, and that the truth must be uncovered, no matter how influential the person involved. The allegations and the ensuing scandal have significant potential implications for Oprah's career, public image, and legacy. If the allegations persist or are substantiated, Oprah's reputation could suffer irreparable damage. Her image as a trusted media figure and philanthropist would be severely tarnished, affecting her ability to influence and inspire. Professionally, Oprah could face backlash from sponsors, business partners, and the broader media industry.
The Pandora box is open, and I can guarantee you she's on Diddy's list.
Grilled isopod, anyone? This crustacean has a similar taste to crab or lobster and is a popular flame-grilled delicacy in Vietnam. Would you give it a try?
That's a hard pass for me to eat that cockroach of the sea. What about you guys? Bet he's heading straight to the dispensary.
Look!
You need to get the boys.
Hey guys, anybody from Nashville to confirm if it's real or not? Wow. Even if you're a pro, don't ever try this.
We got a story about a year ago that was really creepy, and this took place in East Texas. And this fella liked to hunt hogs. Hunting's kind of expensive, so he wanted to get him a nice thermal scope. You know, we're talking about a good one. They're about $5-6 grand to put on his AR-10. So he goes out there in this real thick piney wood forest. He puts his back against a tree and sits down on the ground, and there's glass in this area with that thermal scope. Well, he sits there for about an hour and a half and no hogs. So he's like, well, maybe I should move. So he's like, okay. He gets up, he moves about 150 yards away from where he was previously sitting, sits down, puts his back to the tree again. Now he's glassing in the opposite direction, looking for stuff. Well, about that time, he sees the heat signature of something moving. And he's like, oh, yeah, pigs are coming in. This is going to be it. He gets ready. Well, he starts watching this thing, and at first, he thought it was a bear. But then he said the more he watched it, it wasn't a bear. He said it looked like a naked human. Like a naked human being. And he said this thing was crawling on all fours, and it crawled directly to where the tree he was just sitting at. And he said this thing is getting its face up to the bark, and it's examining, and it's transfixed on where he was just sitting. And he's watching all this, and it looks like a white signature through his thermal scope. He said this thing sits down, and it puts its hands between its legs, and it's like squatting, And he says, it looks directly in his direction.
Oh, no.
And he's like, oh, no, I think it can see me. And he said, it looks up like a wolf is going to howl. But he says, it says, help. I need help. And he said, it's in a woman's voice. And he said, a few seconds later, it says again, I'm injured. I need help. Is there someone that can help me? And he's like, man, I don't know. He takes his AR off safety and he shoots around over its head. He doesn't want to shoot it just in case it's a person. He said it doesn't move. He said it breaks to the left and starts running. And he's trying to follow it, but there's all these trees and brush in the way, so he's losing it. He says he touches off another round. Pow! It's still moving. But where it's moving is the opposite direction of where his truck is. So he's like, I'm not messing around. He said he ran to his truck. And he ran faster than he's probably ever ran. He got in his truck. And he's like, I don't know what that was.
Never used a scope again.
Never didn't.
See, that would be
always
one.
Like,
That
where
would
did
be
it go?
one.
Where is he?
That
Oh,
would be
God.
one I wouldn't go. I don't know if I'd hunt.
I get chill bumps every time.
I just got it. Every time.
Hey, was that a Wendigo or a skinwalker?
The stupidest thing I did, or one of the stupidest things I did at the school, was I called one of my classes, a master class, sex scenes. It was not about sex scenes. I was not teaching people how to do sex scenes or intimate scenes or anything of that nature. I'll admit, I did sleep with students. I didn't sleep with anybody in that particular class. I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. I suppose my thinking was, if it's consensual, okay.
Okay, they were adults, but I know what you're thinking. Is he on the Diddy's list?
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah. But I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset. When they best.
I'm as confused as the poor guy who forgot to open the door. Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Hey guys, so we're going to be talking about quantum acceleration. And I always love the topic of quantum because it expands you into your multi-dimensional awareness. So most people are experiencing their reality in a very linear way. When we talk about linear time, it's this belief or idea that you experience things as being fixed. You experience things as being very set. And so something really cool came up in a client session today where her guides were coming through and they wanted me to explain this idea of quantum acceleration. And we were specifically on the topic of money and like charging particular price in your business, or believing that there are people who are a vibrational match to that price. And I know a lot of people, some of you are spiritual entrepreneurs and you might struggle with expanding your price. But nonetheless, how they explained this was, not only do you have infinite parallel versions of yourself, but every single person, every soul that's here that has the potential to co-create with you also has all of these infinite selves, and you get to choose which one of their infinite selves you want to co-create with, as well as which version of your infinite self you want to embody. So how they broke this down was, okay, you're believing that people cannot afford my services, or people will not be able to afford this price. But really, as you shift and you align with a version of you that's confident with charging that price, what happens is you activate the parallel version of them that will say yes to that price. Do you kind of understand how it works? So as you activate different versions of you, because you are also not a linear person, you activate different versions of other people. This is why we say reality is infinite. This is why we say there is really no fixed time or anything like that. It's a continuous acceleration and shifting through potentiality. It's the same thing with relationships. I always talk about how if you're in a relationship with someone, it could be romantic, it could be a friendship, whatever, you're activating like certain things within that person based on your own frequency. This is why we get in relationships with people and we're like, oh, this person's like really bringing something different out of me, or I feel so different when I'm with this person. And it's because based on their frequency, based on their energy, based on their unique energetics and their overall soul archetype and blueprint, they are activating certain things within you. But you also do that for other people. So applying this to anything that you want to manifest in your life, everything that you could possibly think of that you want does exist and is available. But which version of reality are you activating? This is exactly what the Universal Council of One brought through yesterday in the trans channeling with all of these infinite parallel versions of Earth. None of us are living on the same Earth. Like when I wake up in the morning, the version of Earth that I choose to activate is going to be totally different than the next person, which is why we're all experiencing different things. Now, you as the creator, this is where self-mastery and vibrational attunement comes into place. You have to learn how to stop thinking as a linear being. And you have to remember how to think as a quantum being. And what this means is no matter what reality is showing you, practicing taking a step back and saying, okay, this is a possibility. This is the version that maybe I've activated. However, there are endless other versions of this exact same experience that I can activate. And it doesn't take weeks and months. It can literally take seconds. But it depends on your willpower and your willingness to want to activate a new frequency and thus activate a new reality. So what you're going to start doing is you're going to take a step back when things are happening and whatever's going on in your reality. You're going to start telling yourself, okay, yes, that is a possibility, because most people, they assume, they jump to the worst possible thing. You know, the ego mind is so trained to be fixated on the thing that is like the worst possible case scenario. So take that step back. Yes, the worst possible case scenario is a possibility. It does exist in the quantum. But what I'm going to do with my focus and my awareness is say, hey, within this time-space continuum, I recognize that there are so many versions and variations of that same reality that I can tap into. So I'm not going to allow my ego in this fear to consume me and pull me into activating that timeline. Because whenever we focus on something, we activate it. So you as the master creator, the vibrational magician I'm hearing, you literally just activate all these frequencies. All of these frequencies, like these parallel realities that we're talking about that exist simultaneously, like eternity, they're all sort of dormant. They're just like energetic potentiality that don't really become activated until we as the creator activate them. So take that step back. Which reality do I want to activate? This is going to free you. This is why people are living and feeling like they are prisoners within their own game, within their own experience, because they're feeling trapped in a certain narrative, trapped in a certain identity, when it's really just a choice. I get to choose where I want to shift my focus. And as you start practicing this, right? It takes practice. It's like a muscle. It's like going to the gym and you're like on the treadmill or you're lifting weights or whatever, and then one day you look up and like the workout isn't as difficult. These things sound really unrealistic and really difficult because you've been living life as a linear being. But when we're talking about your ascension and expanding into your multidimensionality, this is where you're going to start losing a sense of time. Like, I pretty much experience more timelessness now than I experience linear reality, because I'm existing in the 0 point energy of just like, okay, in any second, I get to choose where I want to go. And because I get to choose where I want to go, and I know all of this like availability and possibility is out there, I don't ever feel like there has to be a gradual continuation of the same thing. All linear reality and like your experience of being a linear being is experiencing things in a very gradual way. Whereas when you shift into your quantum awareness, you can like jump all, like you could do whatever you want, especially as your higher self starts to blur the lines between some boundaries. You can hop in it. This is when people start having like past life memories, when the timelines start fading or bleeding into each other. It's because your higher self is allowing you to experience everything that's actually happening right here now in this moment. It's not like it was in the past or it's going to be in the future. It's just different time slots in reality that you get to shift into. Now what's happening is the more we ascend and activate this multidimensional consciousness, we will be able to do that at will. That is what we call bilocation or even trilocation. You can be places at the same time, which is what I've been experiencing. I've been experiencing myself in these different timelines, but like aware of it, simultaneously existing as different versions of myself, all happening now. So that's where we're all going. That's what we're expanding into. That happened to me last Friday. It honestly freaked me out at first. Exactly. The lines start to become blurred. This is why they're giving me the example of, for those of you who are familiar with Bashar, or Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar, and Bashar is Daryl Anka's future self, who's channeling through him from a future timeline. So like a future human, but it's really this future human is operating in a multidimensional awareness where they can tap into the past and channel through their past self that is Daryl Anka, but it's actually going on at the same time. So the more we all start to expand, we're gonna be doing crazy shit. Like I have my former like Lemurian version of myself will contact me sometimes. I have a lot of clients who are like, oh yeah, my future daughter or son like contacted me and was like giving me this information that I needed to accelerate through my ascension to kind of synchronize.
Wow, she's definitely tapped in, guys. Great explanation. That place just gave me anxiety.
Check this video out, y'all. Apparently, this is Spain, right before the flooding, the hail, and the tornadoes took place. Now take a notice at all the lights that's going on in the background and the humming. Listen to this. why does it sound like... Do you hear that? And then the comment alone says, why does Honda's hybrid electric backup sound like there's a biblically accurate angel near me? And I said that. I said, why does that sound like a hybrid vehicle? So I asked Google, just to amuse myself, what does a UFO sound like? And Google says there's no definitive answer, but scientists depict it to sound like a theremin. A theremin, which is an electronic instrument that produces a warbling sound. If you don't know what a theremin is, this is a theremin. And you play it by standing right in front of it, and the two antennas at the end of the theremin, you stand in between it and you wave your hands around, and it will give you a pitch, a frequency. Here he is playing over the rainbow. So I was like, okay, this instrument must be in an electromagnetic instrument, meaning you play it with your heart. So I asked Google, and Google says, yes, the theremin is an electromagnetic instrument. Remember, an electromagnetic instrument. So it's in the clouds, right? A warbling sound, it's an electromagnetic instrument. A UAP is known as an electromagnetic instrument as well. And even in the movie Nope, they told you they changed the name from UFO to UAPs. You know, things like this that happen in Brazil. What if it's the UFOs causing these UAPs? Because y'all remember this? Do y'all remember that? That's a perfect sphere. How?
That reminds me of the Project Harp. Not you? So they were going to kill somebody over a damn old truck. That's a crazy world we're living in. And that's all for today, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.